Good morning, Las Vegas Realtors. I'm Michelle Brown. I'm the chair of the Risk Management Committee, and I'm here with my co-chair, Shirley Adams.
So our next meeting is June 5th, which is a Thursday, and it's 1 o'clock.
And we're here to make you aware of why it's important to be involved with the Risk Management Committee, and we're asking for your attendance and your support.
And we have a very special guest I'd love to introduce you to. It's Fernanda, and she's going to talk about what she does and the important information we really want you to share and understand and be committed to elevating our profession.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I'm very excited. My name is Fernanda Heki. I'm the Education and Outreach Coordinator for Silver State Fair Housing Council. We are a private nonprofit organization. We serve the entire state of Nevada. Mainly what we do is be a resource for housing providers and consumers. We like to inform the community and everyone who is interested about their rights under fair housing. By that, we're not lawyers, we're advocates of the cause. If we were lawyers, I would have a much nicer car. And, we are an advocacy group. Our job is possible due to funds from HUD and local jurisdictions. And I'm very excited to be here now.
Well, thank you for your time. And
Thank you.
So Fernanda's going to cover a lot of important information that is involved in real estate activity. And I can give you an example how I reached out and how they helped me through a situation that I was kind of unsure what to do. I was helping a couple purchase a home, and ultimately they decided, I don't want to purchase this home. We're going to rent first. They did have, it wasn't an emotional support animal, but it was, what's the other?
service animal.
Oh, so a service dog. And we did find a house to rent, but the agent on the other side was asking for so much information about the pet, like almost like, what's their social security number, even though they don't have it. And I was feeling uncomfortable that I'm going to reach out to our client and say, this is all the documentation that you need. And I was unsure on my end, what did I need to request for protecting my client and making sure that, they can get an approval for their application. So I reached out to your council, and it was just so wonderful because not only did they explain the steps over the phone, but they also gave me the laws and the documentation to share with the other agent on the other side on what the proper documentation would be. So I wasn't that other agent giving them a hard time. It's more or less, these are the laws, happy to provide what is within the law so that we're not discriminating against this couple and their service animal.
So that is one of the biggest, perhaps, questions that we get. Do you know that there's a difference between service animals and emotional support animals, right? Well, it's a service animal, but it's a cat. Well, a cat can't be a service animal under the ADA. The ADA, fair housing, completely different. And
Right.
That is what people do not realize a lot of times, right? Emotional support animals, for example, you don't need certification. You only need a verification of need from a reliable source that it is an emotional support
Which is
animal.
$69.99, psychiatrist online.
As property managers, right? If someone comes to you and says, this is my emotional support animal, here's my certificate, and it is from a website, you can say, HUD does not see this as a reliable source because that is on HUD's guidance. If it comes from a website, you can turn it away and ask for a different verification of need. And the list of reliable sources is going to be on that guidance that I will have for all of you. Yeah.
Great. So you'll have a printout of that?
So risk management, this is exactly like, what do we do? This is for sure everyday circumstances that we all come up against. And just like you said, we're a team. Let's talk about this. Sometimes we just need somebody else to talk through a scenario to have a clear head of how do we proceed.
That's more or less our purpose of having you come to our meeting, is those questions that we kind of think we know what the answer is, but we may not really know what the actual answer is, and ways to educate ourselves and do a better job.
And that's actually one of our favorite things, to have housing providers call us, because it means that they care. right? That they care what is going on out there in the community. I want to make sure they do the right thing. And one of my favorite things about my job is that we actually, when you call, we answer. You don't get referred to a machine, press 3 for this. You talk to us. We're able to help you. And if we do not know the answer, we're always going to refer you to your legal representative. And us as a group too, we talk to our teammates. Our executive director is very involved, so we can always reach out to her and ask questions if we don't know the right answer. So it's a good environment when it comes to learning.
Why don't you mention maybe some of the other topics that you feel are something that we can address or that you come across on a daily basis in your profession?
We do get a lot of calls from property managers, always wanting to do the right thing, and we get follow-up questions from those same property managers. So, if they're in a situation, they give us a call. Hey, this is going on. This is how I'm handling it. Can you give us your opinion in it? What is your input? Obviously, we don't do it from a legal standpoint, but from an advocacy standpoint, we have people too giving us a call. Hey, do you think this is a good idea? My real estate agent is suggesting this. Again, not from a legal standpoint, right? But you guys are the professionals. At the end of the day, we are a team. We have the same goal. We want to ensure that all Nevadans are housed, right?
Correct.
Either if they're renting, if they're buying, we want to make sure that they have equal chances of getting housed. That's what we are here for. So we want to make sure that everyone that is out there attends this meeting. We're going to be talking about basic fair housing protections. We're going to be talking about cases that we have heard of. We're going to be talking about some resources that might be of help for all of you. And most importantly, we're going to have a discussion. So come on June 5th. Make sure you have those questions. Again, we are a team. We want to make sure that everyone in the state of Nevada is getting house, renting, buying homes, right? Selling their homes, whichever it might be. We want to make sure that that is happening. So it is very important that everyone attends on June 5th.
The goal of risk management is to obviously lower our risk as brokers, owners, sales managers, real estate agents. Why do any of us want to be in trouble? Why do any of us want to open the door of possible lawsuits? So any awareness, any education, any support that we can obtain from each other is so very important. It's honestly one of the most important steps in our careers, in our business. We all are responsible for making right and correct and legal decisions. We want to stress the importance of coming and supporting our committee, the first Thursday of every other month, 1 to 2. Come, please support us. Give us your suggestions for topics that you'd like. And also, beforehand, email Shirley or I with any questions that you might have for our guest speaker coming up June 5th. We'd love to address the nitty-gritty and the truth of what happens every day out in the field.
There's also a designation that is available to you through LVR, and we have classes coming up.
You do. June 17th is our first one.
So it's a risk reduction graduate course. It's really involved. It's a designation. It's offered here through our association. And it's just so much information to learn. You really, even though you've been years in the business, it's always evolving. It's always changing. So we always do want to prevent risk. So it's a great designation taught by great teachers, and it's available to you. And we're right here supporting you to do that.
and let me mention the risk management designation and certification. Once that's obtained, it does open the door to discounts for your E&O insurance through your brokerage too. So your broker will especially love you with these designations to help with, the cost overall of E&O insurance.
So they're great committees to come to LVR and have some education. It's a lot of fun. It's interactive. You ask questions. We're here to support each other, and we would love for you to be involved, definitely. And Fernanda has honored us with her time and her knowledge and her resource. So join us, which is June 5th, again, 1:00. We'll have some snacks there for you, and it won't be a waste of your time, we promise.